It's a true Friday Night Rivals matchup here tonight in Hartford, a North Shore Conference battle as the Hartford Orioles host the Slinger Owls on My 24. Good evening, everyone. Along with Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you from Hartford tonight. Big game here tonight to open up North Shore Conference play, but more importantly, I think, raising money for the American Cancer Society.
Yeah, they sometimes talk about bitter rivals. These two schools, not that. Coaches respect each other, and the students understand that the purpose of this game isn't just wins and losses, fight against cancer.
Raising money for the American Cancer Society. In the last 14 years, these two teams have gotten together for that purpose. Tonight, no different. Going to be a nice crowd here this evening. North Shore Conference. Boy, is it loaded. Maybe 5-6 teams in the running for a conference title this year?
You don't get to take a week off. It's a grind, and both coaches understand the importance of getting off to that 1-0 start tonight.
Slinger undefeated so far. They're 2-0, and their big win was last week. They knocked off Lake Geneva Badger in a shootout, basically. And Hartford struggling a little bit, 1-1 out of the gate.
1-1. They had a good win against Waukesha West, but then they followed up. Just weren't consistent against Germantown.
Look for that intensity to ramp up just a little bit more here tonight. Right now, let's take a look at the players we're going to keep an eye on for you this evening. We'll start first with the Slinger Owls.
Well, at quarterback, Michael Thede, second-team all-conference performer a year ago, outstanding passer. Lucas Song, his receiver, didn't play football ever till last year as a junior. One highlight reel catch after another these past 2 years.
Defensively, Chase Leverance in that backfield.
Loves to come up and fill. They really look at him as anchoring that defensive backfield. And on the D-line, Cooper Williams, two-way player, strong, very quick.
For Hartford tonight, their running back, E.J. Brown.
Leading rusher for the Orioles, has had a great start to this year.
Well, you need someone to open up that hole. How about Cooper Rolsma?
Cooper Rolsma, he's also teamed up with his brother to, get that offensive line to grind out yards.
Defensively, defensive lineman Aiden Grolke, a junior.
Aiden Grolke, outstanding wrestler, uses those skills when he's playing defense. And Turner McManigal at the defensive end, two-way player, once again, anchors both lines.
Slinger won this game last year. These two teams figured to be a battle for the top spot in the North Shore Conference. We'll see who gets that first nod in the first week of conference play when we come back for our kickoff from Hartford on Friday Night Rivals on My 24. This is John. Check 1, 2, 3. Hartford Slinger.
Terry, check. Count coaches versus cancer game. Here comes ref.
Fans, please direct your attention to the field, where the Hartford Police Department Honor Guard will be presenting the colors.
Good to see. Good to be seen. Hartford Police Department Honor Guard will present our colors tonight from Hartford High School. Our Friday Night Rivals contest, Hartford and Slinger tonight.
Fans, to honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask those who are able to please stand, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart for the playing of the national anthem by the HUHS Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Connor Johnson.
Ready to kick things off tonight from Hartford. John Weiser and Terry Kelly up in the booth. Mike McGivern on the sideline tonight once again for our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Great matchup here tonight. 1-1 Hartford, 2-0 Slinger. Two teams figuring to be in the battle for that conference top spot.
Conference wins are so critical. You need to get to 4 to try to have a good shot in the playoffs.
Coin toss tonight brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be.
Call it nice and loud that it can hear you, okay? Go ahead and toss it. Tails. That is heads. Hartford's one is the fur. Teams, you will receive it. All right, you do my homework here. Hartford's won the toss with the fur.
So Slinger will get the football to start our contest tonight. Again, our coin toss ceremony brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be. Hartford in the all-black, Slinger in the all-white tonight. I'd say an even matchup.
Well, we got two birds fighting each other, the Oriole versus the Owl. Which one is the more intense?
And it is standing room only here tonight. And this is exactly what it's all about. The Hartford contingent putting on the Coaches versus Cancer game here tonight. Both schools raising money. Over $166,000 raised between these two schools for these games over the last 14 years.
Yeah, both schools have had coaches as well as players' families impacted by that scourge of cancer, so it's great to see something like this come together to unite to fight against that.
John Redders, you see, a head coach for Hartford on the sideline, and it was decided that they would add this gentleman's name to the traveling trophy. It'll be the Wilkinson Redders Jacklin Trophy that they'll be playing for. Bill Jacklin, always a great guy to visit with at practice, and we got some stories we can share on the air tonight with Bill Jacklin tonight. Slinger to our right, ready to receive. Kobe Kendrick and Jeffrey Ford back deep. And it's Kobe Hendrick out across the 20 and stacked up at the 24-yard line, brought down by Dane Miners. So here's the offense for the Slinger Owls tonight. We mentioned Michael Thiede. We're going to keep an eye on here tonight. The quarterback, the senior, they do it all. Second team all-conference player from a year ago. Great offensive line. We talked about Cooper Williams up front, a two-way player going to be up there. And then Chase Jacklin also up there, the honorable mention all-conference at left guard.
Now Slinger has got a very potent offense this year, pretty well balanced between pass and run.
Line up with the single back. Caleb Burkell next to the quarterback, Michael Thiede. Three receivers to the right. Burkell gets the call, left side, cuts across the 30, 35, and met at the 41-yard line where he is driven down there. 14-yard pickup and a first down. Brady Helms and Cole Ohm both there to make the stop for the Orioles.
Now, Caleb he had a good opening game. He 17 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown, and he's also a two-way player. You're going to just be a couple of those. Slinger this year has gone to a two-platoon system.
Here you look at the defensive lineup tonight for Hartford. Again, our starting lineups brought to you by the Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, building communities and careers. First and 10, just across the 41-yard line. Thiede, the lefty, going to air it out. Looking to the far side, leaping attempt, and it's no good, incomplete. Out there, Jeffrey Ford, the intended receiver, broken up by Brady Helms out there in coverage. And there you see Helms tonight. That was something that happened Wednesday in practice.
Little freak injury happened just bumping into one of his own players, obviously, and broken thumb.
Doctor said, well, we'll cast it up. You'll play on Friday.
And his father, being the athletic director, thought that was a great decision.
Exactly. Second and 10 from the 42. Two receivers to the left. Again, they'll try and run it. Burkle, not much there. Dane Miners. If that name sounds familiar, that's his brother, Quinn Miners, the offensive lineman. Just signed that big contract with the Denver Broncos.
And obviously his older brother was able to get more at the dinner table, Dane being a 6'4", 195-pounder, not an offensive lineman, and he's probably grateful for that.
3rd and 10 from the 42, just underway, opening drive. Ford, the single receiver here to the near side. 2 receivers split wide right. Thiede now will scramble, has a running lane. Thiede to midfield. Thiede will get the first down into Oriole territory out of bounds at the Hartford 45-yard line. 15-yard carry for Thiede, the quarterback.
You know, although Thiede's known as a passer, last year he ran for 11 touchdowns, and he's been running the ball a little bit more often this year.
Had a nice lane over that right side and was able to take advantage of another Best Electric first down here for the Slinger Owls on their opening drive. Burkell breaks it out. Burkell inside the 20 and tripped up at the 15. 30-yard run. Hunter Eater there to make the stop, and Slinger penetrates the red zone.
Now, Slinger coming into this year was expected to be a contender for this conference title. A lot of players back. The program is really on the upswing. They had 46 freshmen playing this year. Coach Jacklin very pleased with the state of the program.
Inside the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. Bryant and Stratton College built different for you. From the 14-yard line, first down. Burkell again picks his way around the right side, cuts it back inside the 10, inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Sully McManigal and Brady Helms both there on the stop.
Well, one of the things, that Hartford thought was going to be a key to this game, they need to have defense intensity throughout the game, not just bits and pieces. They need to be a little more consistent. Coach Redders was really open to see that.
Good enough for a first down inside the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Owls. Burkell in the backfield with Thiede. He'll get the call. Wrapped up as he hit the line, and he was tackled into the end zone for the touchdown. I think it was Turner McManigal who got a hold of him, and instead of throwing him back, threw him forward, and he broke the plane of the goal, and the Orioles strike, or they should say the Owls strike first. Another look. And they just took the pile, threw him right into the end zone. Cole Martin for the extra point. It is on the way, and good. Sneaked it through the left side. 7-0 Slinger, an impressive drive. 77 yards, and the touchdown as we head downstairs. Our first visit of the night with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, Bruce Janicic, Best Electric. Bruce, we're talking before. I didn't realize you guys do pretty much all of it. You go from doorbells to remodeling kitchens and everything in between.
Yeah, we call it doorbells to lightning. Smallest job. A lot of people think we won't come out. We're a contractor that comes out to the largest home remodels or anything you need. Electric vehicles or home generators. We're good for all that product.
Hey, it's amazing to me that you guys can do everything from, again, a doorbell. Keeps you guys awfully busy.
We've been very busy. We have a great customer base. We have very well people that are trained, and we'll be happy to help anybody that needs us.
Hey, it's good to see you. Thanks for sponsoring Friday Night Rivals.
You know me long enough. I'm a sports guy. I love this. I love giving back to the community.
Bruce, thanks. Good to see you. Boys, back to you.
We had a chance to talk with Mr. Janicic before the game, and he said one of the reasons Mike McGivern likes him so much is the fact that Mr. Janicic is a basketball official and never teed up Mr. McGivern, even though he probably should have.
I was going to say it. There was probably a time or two or three.
Perhaps.
Our Liuna kickoff brought to you by Liuna Local 113. Kick off your career with Liuna Local 113. Martin puts a foot into this one. It will skip its way into the end zone, and it'll be picked up by E.J. Brown, trying to return it out across the 25, and he'll get out to the 27-yard line.
Actually thought that he picked that ball up in the end zone.
It looked like it. Mason Johnson on special teams got down there to make the stop for Slinger. So we get our first look at the Hartford offense tonight, led by Bennett Clagis, the quarterback. Very good, 6'2", 185-pound senior leading that offense. We mentioned Brown, the leading rusher, and then Cooper and Jackson Rolsma, the left guard and right guard, the brothers Rolsma. You'll see this tight double wing. And this is E.J. Brown coming around the 35 to the 36-yard line, short of the first down, a gain of 8. Burkle on the stop for Slinger.
Well, one of the keys for the Slinger defense for tonight's game is they need to stop this Hartford's ground and pound run game because you can see the double wing attack, bringing guys in motion. They try to flood you at the point of attack and just overwhelm you with numbers.
Seniors up front, seniors in the linebacking core, and seniors across the back end. A two-platoon system. Coach Jacklin talking about that at practice on Tuesday. Brown again, this time around to the left side, will get the first down out to the 40-yard line. Brought down on the play by Caden Walworth.
Carries to the 40. That's a first down.
Somewhat of a young offensive line for the Orioles. They've got a couple of juniors, a couple of sophomores, along with Cooper Rolsma at the left guard, a senior.
Starting lineups again brought to you by the Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council. Oh, that trap play to the inside. Fry will take it out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Minor there on the stop, along with Matt Retzloff.
I'd actually run that as a little counter look. They fake it the one way, and then the back plants his foot, cuts back the opposite direction.
Almost the same technique following up that Lake Geneva Badger game with the Badger wishbone. Brown will bull his way across midfield for the first down. E.J. Brown, strong, 5'10", 200-pound senior. Cooper Williams, along with Walworth there on the stop.
Hartford will be more than content to get 4 or 5 yards each carry and just keep grinding away.
This is where if you're Slinger, you're looking for maybe a turnover, trying to get that ball back, knowing that this is the attack you're going to see all night. They're going to throw it here. Clagis with time, swings it out to the tight end. Turner McManigal with a one-handed grab. They'll get 2 or 3 yards on the play. Turner McManigal, a senior, two-way, looking at Winona State. Once more, we go to Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, listen to the defensive coaches here on the Hartford sidelines. They're asking their defensive ends to contain a little bit, and linebackers, let's really get to the ball. So, look, got to get off blocks, got to make the tackle. Let's make sure defensive ends were containing, not letting them get outside.
2nd and 8. Brown fights his way forward, got maybe a yard before he was driven back. Cooper Williams leading the charge there, along with Caden Reiner and Matt Retzloff.
Yeah, Cooper a year ago had 60 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. You can see one of the things Slinger's doing to counter this, besides having their 4-man front, they're walking their 2 outside backers up, so it's a really 6-man front on the defensive line. But you see Hartford now going to counter by opening up the formation a little bit.
3rd and 7 from the 46. Play fake on the scramble. Clagis got it away, and it's thrown incomplete, intended for Eden Fry, the flanker. Covered on the play by Retzloff.
Well, defensive coordinator Mike Wadman got his wish. They were able to stop that ground and pound offense, get him into a 3rd and longer situation, forcing now pass attempt. Now they get the punt.
John Rutter's the head coach for the Hartford Orioles. Hunter Eder in now to punt. Colby Hendrick standing deep for Slinger inside his own 10-yard line. Eder gets it away. Nice high floating kick. And a penalty marker thrown as there was contact with the returner. Hendrick was trying to step up and make the play, but this will be a catch interference here. Our first penalty of the ball game.
A little bit of an oddity there. Hunter Eder, the punter, is actually the starting center. One of those things you don't see as often, kind of flipping things around.
Mike Edick is our referee tonight.
During the receiving of the ball, kicking interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
We'll take a break. 5:41 to go here in a fast-moving first quarter. Slinger on top of Hartford, 7-0. You're watching the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Two heartfelt comedies are bringing laughs and love to My 24 starting this Monday. Navigate life in Lanford with the Connors at 6 and fall head over heels for Bob Hart's Abishola at 9. That's weeknights on My 24. 7-zip. Second possession of the night for Slinger. Following that 15-yard penalty on the interference to make a fair catch. Ball moved out just shy of the 30-yard line. Play fake, Thede on the roll. Pumps once, now dumps it off, completes the pass out across the 41-yard line. Graydon Schonenberg. Schnorrenberg, a 5'11", 170 senior, 5 catches for 52 yards on the season, brought down by Brady Helms.
You could see how well Thede throws on the run there. And Coach Jacklin and I'm sure Aaron Pokshava, the offensive coordinator, really like the balance that's been going on this season between their run and pass game.
Gain of 11, out to the 41-yard line, 1st and 10, Slinger. Thede will keep it. Gets a yard, perhaps 2. Brought down by Turner McManigal.
Tried to run a little quarterback power that time.
Second and 9 upcoming.
Second down and 9 for the 42.
Again, the Owls going 77 yards on their opening drive. 4-yard touchdown run by Caleb Burkle. Thede will give it to Kobe Hendricks, and he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Hunter Eder, along with McManigal, right there to make the stop. So now the Owls hemmed in here, facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 41-yard line.
See if Hartford chooses to bring a little bit of pressure. They know what a good passer Thede happens to be.
2 receivers here to the near side. Swing it out of the backfield. Hendricks able to get to the near sideline and out of bounds just across the 47-yard line. Short of the first down decision here for the Owls on fourth down.
You can see that Hartford changed up their four-man front that time to a three-man front, try to get a little bit more coverage on the back end.
They'll bring the punting unit on. Again, the quarterback, Thede, also the punter for Slinger. Aiden Fry standing inside the 20, awaiting the kick, and it's a beauty. Got it to turn over. Fair catch by Fry at the 14-yard line. And that's where Hartford will get their second possession. Just over 3.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. So we head downstairs. Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I've been playing golf a long time. I'm old, grandfather of 6. Brock, my new best friend here, 7th grade, had his first hole-in-one. I don't like him all that much, to be honest with you. Tell me about it.
Well, I was on hole 8 at Hartford, just golfing with my dad, a bunch of his friends, and my friend, and shaking the ball all over the place. And then Brandon Mez hit a great shot, bounced on the green, just rolled in. We went crazy and everything, yeah.
7th grade, it rolled in. You didn't know it went in. Looked in the cup, there it was. Congratulations. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, you too.
Boys, back to you.
Hang on to him, Mike. I need some help in my game. Gain of 2 on the play by Aiden Fry, the flanker. Set up a 2nd and 7. Again, very tight formation here with the double wing. And there was movement up front. Second movement, and it looks like it'll be an offside penalty here.
Little hard count by the quarterback that time, and Donovan Hoppner jumped into the neutral zone.
Still second down.
Turns it into a 2nd and 2.
Second down and 2.
Ball at the 22-yard line. This is Brown coming around the near side with a head of steam, and he gets out to the 40-yard line. Pickup of a quick 18 yards by E.J. Brown. Caleb Burkle there to make the stop. Out of bounds.
See good blocking out in front of Brown that time. Brown lost his junior year because he had originally started at Hartford, moved to Lamira, and then he wanted to come back. So he had to sit out last year, could only play in junior varsity games, so it was a little bit of an unknown commodity coming into this year.
This is Fry around the left side. He gets tripped up just as he gets across the 45-yard line. Gavin Braun.
Tackled by Chase Leverance.
You can see one of those things that time, fullback Adam Zern leading that play through. He's a fullback. Sometimes fullbacks in this kind of offense start to feel they're really offensive guards, and they've lied to them and given them a back number. But coaches Paul Shelster, their offensive coordinator, John Redders, the head coach, say what an outstanding blocker Adam is.
Be patient. You'll get the ball at some point. I think I heard that once or twice at practice this week. Fry, left side.
Aiden Fry.
Close to a first down at midfield. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short, bringing up 3rd and short. It was Walworth and Caden Reiner both there to make the stop. Each week we're going to highlight a hit of the game. That's brought to you by the Milwaukee Admirals. Their season just around the corner.
Little chill in the air tonight, kind of a forerunner of maybe the winter to come.
Big play here, 3rd and 2 from the 48. Brown gets the first down. Out to the 50-yard line. Reiner was the man there to bring him to the turf, but it'll be another Best Electric first down. One more look.
They didn't get it by much, but you can see the amount of pressure that offensive line puts on the defense. side to side by each other and just trying to drive it and grind it down the field.
From the midfield stripe, 1st and 10, Orioles. Go up the middle with it. I believe it was Zurn on the carry. We've got a Hartford player down. Caden Reiner already with 5 tackles tonight. They're on the stop.
Yeah, they kind of followed behind the right guard, Jackson Rolsman, that time. He started last year as a freshman, obviously the younger brother to Cooper.
Mike, what do you have?
So the defensive coaches here on the sidelines talking about their kids. They said, look, we asked you to be more disciplined after that first drive, and you did that. Look, as long as we stay in our gaps, keep them contained, we're going to be just fine. Defensive coach is really happy with that second set for them.
Mike, thank you. Got a much better look on that second defensive stand by the Orioles.
Well, that was something John Redders talked about. We mentioned it a little bit earlier about playing with intensity each and every quarter, not having those lapses where the offense gets the upper hand. They need to be able to do that. Then
the Orioles coming off that 20-0 loss to Germantown, and coach was pretty upfront about that. He didn't think the intensity was quite there every series, needing to bring that to the table every play. That's Hunter Eder, who was the injured player. Good to see him able to walk off. Could be a big loss there because he's one of the two-way players for the Orioles.
Plus a punter.
And the punter, you got it.
So we've got a new center in there, Peyton Cadelnut.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 at the Slinger 42. It's Brown coming around, and he is stacked up.
DJ Brown, the ball carrier.
Still moving the pile. Looks like he may have enough for the first down. That second effort, keeping the legs moving, keeps the chains moving.
First down for the Orioles.
Just across the 40-yard line. And that will end our first quarter here in Hartford. A coaches versus cancer game and a North Shore Conference opener for both these squads. It's Slinger on top of Hartford through 1. You're watching the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Second quarter about to start. Hartford with a first down at the Slinger 40-yard line. They're going to throw. Clay just hit as he's thrown, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Fry, the intended target. Caleb Burkle there to break it up.
Yeah, we saw Caleb do some good things offensively. Nice defense on that pass that time.
So Hartford thinking to take a shot that time, but Burkle right there. Timed his leap. Able to high point it and knock it away.
Well, he was the second team all-conference performer on defense a year ago, so one of only 2 guys for Slinger going both ways. Otherwise, it is that 2 platoon we mentioned earlier on.
Penalty marker thrown before the snap. Maybe have been a flinch up front by one of the offensive linemen.
Ball start. Offense. Still second down.
So that puts him behind the chains here. 2nd and 15.
Second and 15 from the 45.
Tight splits, double wing. Clay just wants to throw. Under pressure, steps up. And he's sacked back at midfield. Caden Walworth with the sack. Clay just kept trying to climb the pocket, looking for an open receiver, couldn't find one.
Yeah, Walworth came in a little bit of a blitz from his linebacker position. Probably has studied their offense very well. He's a 4.0 GPA student, so I would imagine kept track of film and tendencies, so he was ready for that instance.
Loss of 5 on the sack. That'll bring up 3rd and 20 now for Hartford. Now they'll split them out. 2 by 2, the receiving core. Single back in the backfield. Clay just from the shotgun. With time, going to air it out. Far sideline. It is ruled a catch, I believe. Yes, sir. A catch out there inside the 15-yard line. Bringing it down for the Orioles. I believe that was Lucas Son. We talked about him in the pregame, Coach.
Never played football till he was a junior last year. They talk about, the number of, that wasn't Lucas. That was for Hartford. Casey Rodemaker.
Rodemaker, that's right. Casey Rodemaker with that beautiful catch inside the 15. 35-yard pickup. They go back on the ground. Fry stopped for maybe a yard. Caden Reiner there to make the stop. Here's another look. Again, Rademacher got that step behind and kept that 1 foot in.
And he kept control of the ball.
Controlled the catch, you're right. And they'll go 2 receivers here to the near side with Fry in the slot. Play action. Clay just under pressure, swings it back to the other side, and it's through the hands, incomplete. Looking for the tight end, McManigal that time. Gavin Braun again out there in coverage for Slinger. Tried to lead him to that pylon, but just a little bit out of his reach.
Coach Redders mentioned a couple of times last week they were in the red zone. They just couldn't get the scores they needed. Got shut out 20-0 by Germantown.
So in the Bryan and Stratton College red zone, a 3rd and 9 from the 14. 3 receivers to the right side. Clay just on a draw play to Brown. Left side wide open. Inside the 5, near the 4, close to a first down. There is a penalty marker at the 15-yard line. They went with the blitz. Clay just on that late draw. There are 2 markers down.
Holding. Offense. Replay third down.
So holding takes away a big gain on that draw. Move the football back out to the 24-yard line, excuse me.
Third down and 20.
3rd and 20 facing the Orioles now. Klages over the middle. Fry goes up, makes the catch near the goal line, was not in. What a catch. Aiden Fry to the...
Fry down at the 1.
Well, Markham at the 1, another look here. Beautifully thrown ball. Got to the high point and made the grab.
Excellent concentration that time by Aiden.
So 1st and goal, Orioles from the 1. They'll give it to Zern, in for the touchdown.
Now remember what I said earlier, that Zern is primarily a blocker, but now the unexpected handoff to him, coach is able to say to him, we did give you the ball, son.
That's your reward for all those nice blocks you're throwing for Brown and Fry. So Zern goes in from the 1. Brady Helms on to attempt the extra point. Line drive, kick, just makes it in the left upright.
Very similar to Slinger's first extra point attempt tonight.
So we're tied at 7. And again, the Orioles overcoming a couple of penalties on this drive, and the holding call on that 3rd down play. They're able to march it in as we head downstairs once again to Mike McGivern.
John Ahrens with Lyona Labor's Local 113. John, we're talking a little bit about the difference between a job and a career, and you guys offer the career side.
Yeah, we offer a career side. We have very good wages. We have amazing education, paid education to give you a career that will last 30 years plus, you know.
John had said, hey, listen, look at my hands, right? People that are very proud of the work they do.
Yes, we're very proud of the work we do. You know, every day we wake up, lace up our boots, go into work. I know our bodies ache, but we get paid good money, livable wages. We do good work.
Man, it's good to see you again. Have a good weekend.
Yes, thank you. You as well.
You bet. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Well, the Orioles respond here. Like I said, a couple of penalties on this drive. They had a false start and then that holding call. Able to overcome. Kick skips down. Ford across the 20 and collision at the 21-yard line. Adam Zern just scored the touchdown playing special teams, goes down and makes the stop.
Yes, you know, Slinger has been able to go to the 2-platoon system, and Coach Jacklin loves that. Hartford, not quite the numbers pulling that out. They have a smaller senior class, and as we mentioned a little before, number of underclassmen, juniors and sophomores, starting on the defensive side of the ball for Hartford.
From the 21, Thede will get them set. Thede rolling out, will dump it off to the fullback, Johnson. Mason Johnson takes it across the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Colton Breyer there to make the stop. This season, closed captioning. It brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
2nd and 4 from the 20.
So gain of 6 on the play on the reception by Mason Johnson, the senior. Schnorrenberg and Lucas Sahn split here to the near side. And they will run it. Burkle to the 30, and he is stacked up there short of the first down.
Burkle to the 30.
So it'll be about a yard, 2 yards shy. Rademacher and Eder both there on the tackle.
Kind of a critical third down here for Slinger. I think they would hate to give the ball back to Hartford. Hartford's got a little of offensive momentum now.
Son, the single receiver here to the near side. Again, Johnson rolls in motion. Burkle gets the call, picks his way around the right side. Second effort gets the first down. Out across the 33-yard line. I believe that was Sully McManigal, and Eder. Another look.
Good balance maintained by Burkle that time.
So they keep the drive moving here. 7:15 to play in the half. 1st and 10 from the 35. Quick pass, Thede. Reception made by Son. Down the sideline and across midfield. Lucas Son, 6-foot senior. 7 catches this season, 3 of them for touchdowns.
Coach Jacklin talked about every time he catches the ball, it's a highlight film clip, and they're really enjoying what he's been able to bring to the Owls offense.
15-yard gain out to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10. Again, they'll pound it on the ground. Burkle around the side, left side, out of bounds on that far sideline. See where they mark him out. Should have enough for the first down. They'll mark him at the 38. Mike, what do you got?
So, guys, offensive coaches on this sidelines at Hartford much happier with that offense, especially the line, taking care of business up front, starting to wear them down a little bit. Said, look, let's make sure we know all the rules we talked about, make sure our eyes are up and take care of business. But the offensive coach is much happier now on the Hartford sidelines. Boys, back to you.
Very much should be happy there with that offense. Now the defense getting pushed around here a little bit. 1st and 10 from inside the 40. Burkle again. Steps his way around a tackle. Down the far sideline, Burkle. Inside the 10-yard line. Nice run by Burkle. Brady Helms went low to take him down. But another big gain by Burkle.
I think defensive coordinator Lance Adro can't be happy with some of the missed tackles we've been seeing here today.
Timeout will be taking here by Hartford defense. We will take a break as well. 6:18 to play first half. We're knotted at 7 in Hartford tonight. That is our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by the Milwaukee Window Guys. The team from NFL Network's Good Morning Football is huddling up to bring you special guests, the latest from around the league, and a whole lot of fun with GMFB Overtime. Weekday mornings from 10 to noon on CW 18. Crescent moon overhead here in Hartford. Burkle again tries the right side, and he is stoned at the 5-yard line. Rademacher there on the stop.
Yeah, Rademacher out of that linebacker position's made a couple of tackles this evening.
Again, this season, when a team gets inside their opponent's 20, they enter the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. Bryant and Stratton College, built different for you. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Toss to Burkle. Has a blocker. Headed to the pylon. Gets there for the touchdown. Caleb Burkle, the 5'11 senior. His 2nd touchdown run of the game, and the Owls retake the lead.
Well, this is a little bit of that lack of defensive intensity that Coach Rudders was worried about.
Burkle now over 100 yards rushing here in this first half.
118 yards. Two-way player.
Mm-hmm. Martin for the extra point, and it is good. 14-7. Again, they were able to convert on a couple of clutch third downs and a couple of big runs by this guy, Caleb Burkle. 2nd touchdown run. Get a good look at him on the sideline there. Again, all season long, our touchdowns are brought to you by Steamfitters 601. Steamfitters Local 601, your future starts now. Good view here from Hartford. Breeze picking up just a little bit here tonight. We had some rain earlier, well before kickoff, but just enough to make a grass field slick.
Just a little slick. One of the few grass fields we've seen. But this is something the town is always, focused upon, the home games. Players walk down from the high school about a block and a half away. It's a lot of tradition.
Great atmosphere here for a football game. It just is. With that you mentioned, and the crowd coming in early. I mean, there were people here just before 5. Time now for our Liuna Local 113 kickoff. Cole Martin teeing it up at the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Orioles. E.J. Brown on the far side. And Nolan Medla. And this will one-hop to Medla at the 5. Medla up the near side to the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. 22-yard return for Medla. Brought down on special teams. Jack Fricklin. There's your scoring summary brought to you by Carthage College. 8 plays and 79 yards. Burkle with the touchdown run. Again, our scoring summary is brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. From the 29, 1st and 10. Toss to Fry. Fry to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nice job by the Owls that time to string that play out. Chase Leverance stepping up to make the tackle.
We mentioned Chase Leverance in our discussion before the game, and coaches remarked on it, how he loves to come up and fill. Very, very good tackler.
Gain of 2, 2nd and long, as we slip under 5 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Clages rolling to his left. Zips it downfield. It's intercepted. Picked off on the play by Chase Leverance. Still on his feet. Penalty marker down as he takes it inside the 30-yard line. Chase Leverance, the 6-foot senior on cue. We're just talking about him. He comes up and makes the play.
Get a replay of this. You can see how he comes up, really times this well. Flashes right back in front of the receiver.
It's intended.
Return. Personal foul. Horse collar on the defense. Half the distance to goal. First down.
So add another penalty here to Hartford on the horse collar tackle. That pass intended for Aiden Fry, and Chase Leverance with the pick.
With over 4 minutes to play, plenty of time for Slinger, no need for them to rush it. And this is one of those points where Hartford's got to stiffen, and be able to somehow not let the game get away from them.
There you see Leverance, number 7. Getting a couple of congratulatory slaps on the shoulder.
First down and 10, Slinger from the 13.
Burkle in the backfield now for Thede following the turnover. Picks his way forward.
Kobe Hendricks.
Check that. Hendricks on the carry. Brought down by McManigal.
Tackled by Turner McManigal.
Yeah, we're so used to seeing Caleb carry the ball, and he's playing both ways, but Kobe also very capable running back. Carried the ball 26 times already this year for a little over 100 yards and a touchdown.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Thede, the quarterback. Quick toss to the outside. Hendricks with some running room. Hendricks to the pylon. Touchdown, Slinger.
13-yard touchdown pass from
Scheme Fitter 601.
to Kobe Hendricks.
Touchdown by Kobe Hendricks, the junior.
Going to see Kobe get a couple downfield blocks that pave the way.
And they cash in on the turnover. The Leverance interception turns into 6 points. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And just like that, Slinger. Hold on now, we got a flag on the play. See if this will be assessed on the kickoff.
One of the keys to the game for Slinger, according to Coach Jacklin, was making sure they win the turnover battle. That paid off this time.
Mike Edick, our referee tonight.
Dead ball after the play was over. Personal foul. Kicking team. That penalty be assessed on the kickoff.
So it was a dead ball penalty. An injured Oriole player down. One more look here at the swing pass to Kobe Hendricks.
3:45 to play until halftime. The score, Slinger 21.
21-7 now in favor of the Owls. And it was a quick scoring drive added on by the 15-yard horse collar penalty, so that started at the 13-yard line. And Hendricks able to take it in. Again, our scoring summaries brought to you by Carthage College.
Research, advocacy, patient support programs, education, and more. Learn more about their impact at cancer.org.
So the kickoff will come from the 25-yard line following that penalty. So a chance here for Hartford to come away with some good field position here. Plenty of time left here. 3:45 to go in the half.
Yeah, Hartford's not a quick strike offense, but I'm sure if they can get themselves good field position, we'll see a little bit of that run game, but then they've been opening up their offensive formations, trying to break their tendencies a bit.
Iona 113 kickoff from the 25-yard line by Cole Martin. Be a line drive kick to E.J. Brown from the 15. Brown coming to the near side. Out across the 35 where he is met there. Jack Franklin. Franklin there to make the stop. And so Hartford with good field position here at their own 35-yard line. See if they stick to that ground and pound offense here.
First down and 10, Orioles for the 36.
They'll go 2-by-2 here with the receiving core. Fry lined up in a slot to the far side. Brown lined up in a slot here to the near side.
First time for this formation this evening.
They'll keep Zern in as the single back behind the quarterback, Klages. Let's switch out the footballs. That was what the delay was all about. Now we're set. Klages, quick throw. Outside intended.
Klages' pass is incomplete. Intended for Casey Rademacher.
Casey Rademacher out there had to go through his hands.
Second down.
Well, Coach Redder said that they'd probably have a quick passing game tonight. They didn't know how well their offensive line could hold up against the Slinger defense.
Play design was well. It just, the execution wasn't on point. 2nd and 10. Again, same look here. Fry in a slot right, Brown in a slot to the left. 4-receiver look. Klages with time, comes back near side to Brown, and Brown makes the catch, goes out of bounds across the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11 and a first down for the Orioles. Jesse Retzlaff up to make the stop.
47. That's a first down for the Orioles.
Good throw, good concentration by Brown that time. Klages, an excellent athlete, made it to the state golf tournament this past year.
You don't see that. You see quarterbacks, basketball, baseball, and football, but no, he's
a lot of those pro quarterbacks, though, love that golf game.
They do. Klages coming back near side. Dane Meinertz with the catch. Take it across midfield at the 49-yard line. Gain of about 5. Gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 3:26 to go here in the half.
We mentioned Meinert's brothers being in the pros, but Dane, an excellent athlete in his own right, also a track performer, made it to state last year in the triple jump.
Was it 44-5?
44-5. Good jump for a high school athlete.
2nd down, Klages with time. Comes back near side, dropped by Brown. He felt the pressure coming that time.
3rd down.
That was Jesse Retzlaff on the coverage that time, bearing in on Brown. So we'll see what they dial up here. 3rd and 6, and a timeout taken by Slinger here on defense.
Wonder if Hartford's considering trying that draw play that we saw earlier.
So they'll talk about it. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, it's the Wendy's Halftime Report. We'll highlight this week's Russ Darrow Automotive Group Scholar Athlete nominees, and we'll meet a few of our sponsors. We'll also have first half highlights. That's all coming up on the Wendy's Halftime Report.
Looks like you're running downhill right.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Please check out all the items that they have to offer. Support the businesses that support HUHS Athletic Booster Club and HUHS Student Athletes. Stack Equipment, B&S Liquor.
Rademacher in there now as a receiver.
Porsche and Miller.
He'll come to the near side.
And Continental Motors. Thank you for your support of
Aiden Fry and Miners will split out. They'll actually go with 3 receivers to that left side with Brown lined up in a slot.
6 for the 49.
Zern the single back in the backfield on 3rd and 6. Pump fake, the hitch and go. Coming back to it. Through the hands, incomplete. Rademacher had to go off his hand out of bounds. Gavin Braun was right there. Step for step with Rademacher. No hitch and go.
Good coverage, as you can see, by that Slinger defensive backfield.
So Hunter Eder Good to see him back out there. We'll do the punting here. He's injured early in the first quarter. It's Kobe Hendrick back to receive this punt. Another nice punt. Hendrick's going to let it bounce near the 20-yard line. It'll go out of bounds at the 21.
Punt out of bounds at the 21.
Interesting little wrinkle there. We talked before about Eder being a center, now being the punter. The long snapper on that punt is E.J. Brown, running back.
Interesting. Mike, what do you have?
Hey, guys, I'm here with Kelly Lamb. She's the principal here at Hartford. Kelly, first of all, thanks for having us. What a great turnout. Student section looks great.
Oh, our student section is amazing. Our Cage Crazies come out every day cheering on our team, and luckily the last couple games we've had great weather, so it's been beneficial for them.
Hey, a good year so far?
Absolutely. We've already finished 2 weeks of school. We're going on week 3, and we'll be excited for that May 22nd last day of school.
She's talking about the last day of school already. Kelly Lamb, one of the finest women's basketball player ever to come out of this area, told me she can still hit a jumper and would play me in horse. I don't know. I think I got her, Terry. See you guys.
I understand she might be a better basketball player than her father. Was that possible, Mike?
Actually, I'd like to see that.
Guy Lamb played
for
MU.
Yeah, that's right. It's going back a few.
Unfortunately, I'm able to do that.
I don't know. I remember that too, I guess. Wow. 2nd and 6. Thede dumps it out, completes the pass.
Michael Thede's pass is
beautiful throw that time out to the far side. Schnorrenberg, I should say, with the catch. Josiah Luby with the coverage. Take it out to the 35, gain of about 10.
Now, Thede last year threw for over 1,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions on the year. But it was only second team all conference, so you can see how tough that North Shore Conference is with some real quality players.
Try around the other side. Kobe Hendricks finding some room across the 40-yard line. It was Colton Breyer and Hunter Eder both there. Hendricks getting a touchdown on that last drive.
Well, that running tandem of Hendricks and Burkle have given Slinger a very, very potent offensive backfield.
Lineup trips here to the near side on 2nd and short. A run out of that. Hendricks around the left side. Hendricks still on his feet. Far sideline. Inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line.
Hendricks carries
21-yard carry and a first down for Slinger. It was Sully McManical, and Eder finally getting him to the turf.
Once again, that tackling issue is rearing its ugly head for Hartford.
From the 37, 1st and 10. Back on the ground to Hendrick again.
Kobe
Hendricks, the junior. And a timeout taking here.
Excellent patience by Hendricks as you watch him kind of wait for his blocks to set up, shuffle to the left or to the right. You can see him here as he plants that foot, cuts, then darts back inside.
So Slinger taking the timeout. They have one remaining. They'll be facing a 2nd and short.
Has invested more than $600 million in breast cancer research. Learn more about our research efforts, early detection, and more at
Aaron
cancer.org.
Pokshava is the offensive coordinator. Coach Polk in the middle of that huddle.
Coach Jacklin was talking about excellent staff that he has. Many of them are teachers in the system. Coach Jacklin himself happens to be a 4th grade teacher. Starts, talking football to the kids early on, but he said, the contact that his coaches have by being either both in the building or in the district just really reaps benefits.
Yeah, he was excited. The numbers are up. Freshman team numbers there. They've got like you said, one of the first things he brought up to us was he's got a 2 platoon roughly with only 1 or 2 players going both ways. Said he hasn't had that for quite a while.
He talks about the fact that in their youth football program they have 2 teams at each grade level.
2nd and 1 from the 28. Thede going for it all. Has a man out there. Catch is made. Touchdown. Slinger. Lucas Sun, another spectacular catch. Thede dropping a dime.
Coach Jacqueline's probably saying, "No, why didn't this kid play as both a freshman and a sophomore?" Just trying to save the best for the last year.
You just throw it, he'll go up and get it.
Big hug from Coach Jacqueline there on the sideline.
Cole Martin on for the extra point. And it's good.
Adds the extra point. 1:15 to play.
21 unanswered here by the Owls in the second quarter. Another look.
Excellent concentration, good throw. Only Son was going to be able to catch that. You know, Coach Jacqueline, you meet him, he's this jovial kind of guy. You don't realize, how intense he is in some ways, but yet the care and concern he shows for his players. And we were witness to a little conversation he was having, talking with one of his players about the fishing team he coaches.
Yes.
And Coach Jacqueline was very, very proud to say they finished 3rd in the state last year in fishing, most of the time ice fishing.
Yep.
Took these kids all the way to Minocqua because it was a mild winter. They had to go find some place to be able to go ice fishing.
Speaking of ice, that was the other story. He's discovered cold plunging. Remember that story he was talking about where he took his old sauna, converted that in, bought a cooler. He said he spent several $1,000s to get this refrigeration unit hooked up to the sauna. He keeps it at 48 degrees, I think he said, something like that. And he goes in every morning.
He's become a walking advertisement for this. He was talking to Coach Redders about it. And Coach Redders said, well, I do something like that.
Our Lyuna 113 kickoff. Again, Cole Martin drill this one into the end zone for the touchback.
Touchback, first down and 10, Orioles from the 20.
So Hartford with some work to do here. They've got 1:15 left here in the half. They've been giving up 21 straight, aided by a turnover.
Well, in some ways, I'm pretty sure Hartford would like to just make sure they end the half on a positive note, and then they've shown the ability to kind of improve, from one quarter to the next. They don't like those dips that they get certain quarters. That's been their Achilles.
Clagis with time. Back over the middle, crossing route, completes the pass. Aiden Fry coming across the field for the catch. Clock will stop on the first down, out to the 42-yard line. Sam Bowden there on the stop. Three receivers to the right. Rademacher, the single receiver near side. They'll go to Brown, the slot receiver. He'll make the catch inbounds. Orioles will hustle it up here. Short gain. Under a minute to go. Connor Van Someren credited with the stop. Again with time. Clagis able to survey the field. Now a scramble near side, throwing on the run, diving grab. Was it a catch? It was. Aiden Fry with a sliding grab. It'll be a first down. They'll mark it at the 46 of Slinger. They'll clock the ball here with 21 seconds to play.
Trying to preserve those 2 timeouts.
Yep. So it'll be 2nd and 10
3 seconds. The game.
Put 3 more seconds on the clock here.
Twenty-three on the game clock.
So I'll bring up a 2nd and 10. They're waiting for the clock to get readjusted here. They want to add a couple of seconds, 23 seconds.
Probably going to have to run that down, it looks like. Maybe not.
No. Get that down marker adjusted as well. It's 2nd down after clocking the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Clagis over the middle completes the pass. Miners with the catch. Short of the first down, and they'll take their 2nd timeout. Stopping play with 14 seconds to go. Caleb Burkle there to wrap him up. Short of the first down, will bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Orioles. Another look here. Third grab tonight by Miners. Again, another one of the guys going both ways tonight. So each team with 1 timeout remaining.
You know, Hartford, it's always hung its hat on its running game, but you're seeing that Clagis can throw the ball well. Last year he probably, averaged maybe 13 attempts per game. He's probably close to that this half. Andy Spitzer, our up to the moment statistician, will tell us only 9. Well, I guess math was something I didn't major in.
Go with 3 receivers here to the near side. E.J. Brown lined up in a slot, along with Rademacher and Miners. Clagis back to the far side, and the catch is made and out of bounds, stopping the clock with 9 seconds left. Aiden Fry again coming up big for the Orioles.
First down and 10, Orioles.
That's his 5th catch, I believe, tonight. It'll be a first down, a Best Electric first down at the 18-yard line in the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. And now the timeout will be taken here by Slinger. Defense looked a little befuddled there, trying to get the front lined up.
Timeout. Slinger, their final timeout.
Coach Jacklin seems to be upset with something, talking to the officials. I'm not quite sure what.
That last play did get a foot down in bounds. Hung on to the football.
I'm not quite sure. But he's doing it with a smile. That's the important thing. Probably asking the official, would he like to take one of those cold tub?
Yeah. Go jump in the, yeah.
Maybe it was something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, they've got time for 2 throws here. You still have 1 timeout.
Mm-hmm. But you got to be quick on that one if you stay in bounds short of the first down. So now we're set. Slinger out of timeouts.
See what defensive coordinator Mike Wadman has dialed up here on this play, whether he's going to bring some pressure.
And you got Brown lined up here in the near slide and the slot. Clagis under pressure. Over the middle. Incomplete with 1.7 seconds showing.
Pass is incomplete.
Bring up a second down and 10 from the 18-yard line. So now you pretty much got to hit the home run. They're going to attempt the field goal here.
This would be a 35-yard field goal.
A little bit of a crosswind from right to left. This will be Brady Helms. Klages will hold, ball down. Kick is away. It's a low liner, and it makes it over the crossbar. 35-yard field goal to end this first half. So 28-10, Slinger with the lead. We'll step aside. The Wendy's halftime report coming your way next. This is the Friday Night Rivals on My 24. Wendy's halftime report from Hartford. The Slinger Owls leading the Hartford Orioles 28-10. And we go downstairs to Mike McGivern for our United States Coast Guard interview.
So, guys, for the United States Coast Guard, this is a little fan club here, by the way. Sasha Hartnett. Sasha, thank you so much for your time and thank you for your service. When you get a chance to talk to kids at this age about joining the Coast Guard, what do you tell them?
I tell them it's such an amazing opportunity. Being in the Coast Guard, you get to give back to your community every single day. As an operations specialist in a command center, I've been part of over 200 lives saved. So every day I wake up and I know that I'm making a difference in the people on the lake. And that's pretty much the core of everything we do, is that everyone out on the water is a member of our family. So it is so gratifying to know that that's something that we're working with. So.
And you knew right out of high school, you joined the Coast Guard. Your father's military, he's Navy, and you guys, I bet, go back and forth a little bit. They've got to be so proud of you.
Oh, extremely. I think everything Coast Guard, blankets, cups, mugs, they've got it. My father was a singleman in the Navy, so I get hit with the puddle pirate jokes every now and then, but he's so proud. My family couldn't be prouder. So.
Sasha, thank you so much for being part of what we do, Friday Night Rivals. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
You bet. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. Well, tonight we'd like to highlight our Scholar Athlete nominees, which is brought to you by the Russ Darrell Automotive Group. And from Slinger High School, Chase Jacklin. Chase participates in football, outdoor club, track and field, and Skills USA. He carries a 3.99 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society and on the school honor roll. Chase is a two-time North Shore Conference honorable mention selection. He gives back to the community by coaching flag football and has been a participant at Relay for Life. According to Brian Highmark, Slinger Athletic Director, Chase is a great leader and a role model both on and off the field. And from Hartford Union High School, Bennett Klages. Bennett competes in football, basketball, and golf, carries a 3.9 GPA. He has ranked 41 out of 311 in his class. Bennett is a 3-sport athlete, achieving varsity letters in all 3 sports and qualified for state in golf. He's a member of the H Club, a student-athlete organization that performs service projects in the surrounding community. Bennett is also working as a part of the Visions House project. Vision House, a yearly Hartford Rotary project where a class of students work to build a house for the community. Congratulations to this week's Scholar Athlete nominees. Our weekly nominees will be in the running to receive $5,000 scholarship. Again, brought to you by the great folks at the Russ Darrow Automotive Group. Discover the Darrow difference. Once again, here's Mike.
So, guys, I'm here with Cliff Winkleman. He is the Vice President of Steamfitters Local 601. Cliff, can we talk a little bit about when kids or young adults join you, can we talk about how long it takes to be a steamfitter, a little bit about the instruction side of it?
Yeah, when they graduate, we bring kids on. They start out their pre-apprenticeship, and once they complete their pre-apprenticeship, which is a maximum up to 1 year, then they start their apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is 5 years long, combination of day school and night school. All the day school related training is all paid by the contractors, so it's fully paid, so there's no debt. And night school training continues usually throughout their 3rd or 4th year as an apprentice, and then as they prepare for their journeyman final.
So you had said you started when you were 18, and I find that incredible. And man, I think that's awesome. You fell in love with it early on at 18, 19 years old. Did you know this was going to be your career?
Yeah, I kind of had an idea. My father was a steam fitter by trade also, so he encouraged me to go through and take the test and find out what it's all about. So.
Notice when we talk about this, we talk about career and not job, and there's a big difference.
Absolutely. This is definitely a long-term career. There's a lot invested in the apprentices as they go to school by the contractors, by the union, and it's definitely well worth it in the end. Kids are turning out, like you said, 21, 22 years old, no college debt, making a lot of money, making a lot of 6-figure salaries.
And proud of the work they do.
Absolutely.
Cliff, it's good to see you again. Thanks for being part of all this.
Thank you.
Yep, boys, back to you.
It's the Wendy's halftime report here at Hartford High School. Hartford trailing Slinger 28-10 when we return here on My 24. Wendy's halftime report continues here at Hartford, 28-10. Slinger on top of the Orioles. Once again, here is Mike McGivern.
Guys, Sergeant First Class Cole Snodgrass, U.S. Army, 14 years, been doing this. Hey, when I used to coach basketball, if we talked military with kids, their biggest fear was boot camp. And when you get a chance to talk to kids that have some interest, talk to me about the boot camp and trying to get through that, and it convince these kids they're able to do it.
Yeah, so basic training, it's meant to be challenging, but it's not meant to fail you. It's meant to build you up, make you a better person, and then ultimately make you into a soldier.
Hey, Cole, you joined the U.S. Army because you want to be bigger, have something bigger than just yourself, right? Be bigger than this and give back to our country, and I thank you for that. Really good decision for you, correct?
Absolutely. Honestly, it's been the best decision I've made in my life. I've had a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had anywhere else. I got to compete in the best medic competition for U.S. Army Pacific Command, and I won. And that was honestly one of the most exciting things that's ever happened in my life. One of the best days of my life.
Cole, I got to tell you, I can tell when somebody's really proud of the stuff they do, young man, and you are really proud to be an U.S. Army guy. And I thank you, and I'm sure your parents are really proud.
Oh, they absolutely are.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, they tell me all the time.
Man, that's awesome. Cole, thanks a lot. Thanks for being part of Friday Night Rivals. Man, it's good to see you. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you so much. All right, now it's time to take a look at the plays from across the country from Friday Night Rivals and Thursday Night Lights across America.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Trying to get into the end zone, he does. Let's see what happens. Never know. And it is caught!
No way!
It's in the end zone! Touchdown for Stroudsburg. Ethan Dutzik with a North American Warhorse touchdown.
Launches, and that one is going to be picked. Sean Legros. Legros makes a cut. Sean Legros.
Great block. Second down and goal. Quick pass, and now they're going to try the double pass. Looking long in the end zone. Is it caught? Touchdown, Jaguars. Touchdown, Dakari Shanks. Another People's Bank of Alabama touchdown. And we've got second down and goal inside the 10. Quick pass over the shoulder. Touchdown! Great Barber, his second touchdown of the night. Another People's Bank of Alabama touchdown.
Boy.
And the
Raider wants it all. Has a man. It's caught. It's Jay Timmons who dives across the goal line for an SE Tire touchdown.
With the trophy leading the celebration tonight. Well, we got in there at the end anyways. We're at Hartford tonight, part of the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Let's head downstairs. Mike, what do you have?
Guys, I don't know how much I've ever in my life talked women's flag football, but I've got a chance tonight with Jerry Cardelli. He's the head coach at Brighton and Stratton. Women's flag football. Hey, Coach, it's nice to meet you. How's the team look? They play in the spring. How you feeling about this year's team?
Really good. We start practice on Monday. Looking forward to the team we brought in. We're going to be really young again this year. As a junior college, we had a couple girls transfer on to four-year schools we got to replace. But really excited about the group we brought in this year.
Coach, not a lot of high school girls flag football. Do you recruit athletes?
I recruit mostly from the state of Nevada, Florida, and then Arizona, California. They all have legitimate flag seasons, and it's actually starting up a little bit in the state of Wisconsin this year with 6 teams trying to play a full flag football season this year.
Boy, that would help you at Brighton Stratton, right? College flag football for women, and I don't know this, is it a big deal in the state of Wisconsin for other colleges?
No, it's just us. We're the only one in the state of Wisconsin.
You are? Man, that's awesome. You got somebody that can throw it a little bit this year?
Yeah, we have 3 quarterbacks this year. Really, really excited about all of them. We got a much upgraded wide receiver core as well, so it should be much better offensively.
Man, good for you, Coach. Well done. It's a really exciting time, and good luck with this season. Anybody out there that's got an athlete for a daughter that might have interest playing flag football, Brighton Stratton, the only women's flag football program in the state of Wisconsin. Coach, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Boys, back to you.
It's the Wendy's halftime report here on My 24. Slinger leading Hartford 28-10. Back with more after this. (28-10) Slinger on top of Hartford. We head downstairs. Our Milwaukee window guy with Mike McGivern.
You bet, Russ Armstrong. He's the owner of Milwaukee Windows. Hey, with this kind of weather right now, we're just talking. It's kind of getting cold. We got to. If you need
Mike,
windows, get them in.
This is the time to get in. Energy efficient windows at the best price, the best installation guaranteed. You got to give me a call.
Hey, so we talked last week. This is all guys that work for you. They're not subs. You know everybody who's going to be at your clients' homes to put these windows in. For me, the biggest deal is that you guys will do one or two windows. You're okay with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I know for a fact, if I do it the right way, you're going to come back for more and do the rest of your house. Listen, installation is the key to the window industry, right? I always tell people, if you're getting quotes, ask the salesman if they know the name of the guy who's installing the windows. They have no idea because they subcontract their labor. I do not. That's what separates me from the other guys. You can have the most expensive window in the world, but it's not installed right, you're back at square one.
100%, man. It's good to see you again.
You too.
Yeah, thanks. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you so much. Milwaukee Window Guys, part of our title sponsorship here on My 24. Time now for our highlight package, brought to you by Carthage College. As we take a look at the first half highlights, and early on it was the senior Caleb Burkle.
It was the Caleb Burkle show, a long run to set up this first score.
2 plays later, it was Burkle going in for the early 7-0 lead, but Hartford able to come back, tie the game. A beautiful catch by Rademacher out of near the 10-yard line, and then Zern, the fullback, getting the touchdown to tie the game at 7. But then it was back to Burkle on the ground for the Owls. This run sets them up into the 5-yard line for Burkle's second touchdown of the game.
Burkle follows it up.
The Orioles not done. They've got a couple of big plays here, but unfortunately that was not one of them. That was the pickoff by Chase Leverance, the only turnover of the half, and it led to the touchdown by Kobe Hendricks. And then capping it off, Lucas San with a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch for the Owls as they take a 28-10 lead here at the half. Our highlights brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. Greg Huss is with Mike down on the field.
Thanks, John. Yeah, Greg Huss, Carthage College. We're just talking about what a perfect time of year for parents and potential students at Carthage to come to Carthage and feel the energy of that campus.
Yeah, we'd love to have students and families come and visit. You know, we're the second largest private college in Wisconsin, second in size right behind Marquette. You know, we'd love to have you out there. We're right along Lake Michigan between Kenosha and Racine. I know a lot of athletes are probably watching. We do have 27 NCAA teams there, so you get a great competitive experience because we compete in one of the top conferences in the United States. On top of that, you're going to meet a lot of friends. You're going to work hard, play hard, but you're going to graduate in 4 years. Come out and visit. We'd love to show you around the campus.
Hey, Greg, real quick, last year we talked about scholarship dollars that were available, and this year the same thing.
Absolutely. We award our students about $20 million a year in scholarships, so there is a lot of financial aid out there, and we work really one-on-one with families to help you find all of that.
Guys, I say this a lot. The first time I was on the Carthage campus, my jaw dropped. I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. But it's a beautiful campus with a lot of energy, really positive energy. Greg, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well, Mike. Thank you very much. And a big shout-out to Johnny Weiser in the booth.
You got it. Back to you, boys.
That's Greg. That's my guy. $20 in the mail.
Well, if you're in the Carthage Hall of Fame, you deserve to get some recognition.
28-10, Slinger on top of Hartford. Second half coming your way next here on My 24. Everyone turns out for these games. Even if you're 3 months old, you come to a Hartford Oriole football game. Yeah, nice crowd out here tonight. Coaches versus Cancer Night tonight with Terry Kelly, John Weiser, Mike McGivern with you. So we get set for the second half. That's the Hartford student section tonight.
Great sign there in the stands. Who's the bigger bird? Is it the owl or the Oriole?
You got it.
Well, we'll see if that drive at the end of the half only resulted in a field goal, but yet it's a positive to build off. And once again, Hartford has got to stay intense and consistent. Slinger, meanwhile, just wants to keep their offense clicking along. They've made some big defensive stops. So the second half, see how it unfolds.
And the one turnover leading to 7 points, I should say. So one of the keys you had here for Slinger was win that turnover battle so far. that one turnover might be the difference tonight. We'll see.
Right, and we've seen, both quarterbacks throw the ball pretty well. Clay just probably had more throws tonight than he did in any game last year. And we've seen Thede throw some excellent passes, some great receptions. Should be a very entertaining second half.
Well, the baby powder coming out. Well, the Orioles will get the ball to start this second half.
The second half for Slinger.
That's going to be interesting to see what Paul Shelster, the offensive coordinator, decides to do. We know how they love to run the ball, and I think you need to keep doing that to an extent to set up that passing game.
Cole Martin will tee it up. Orioles will go right to left here in this third quarter. Iona Local 113 kickoff. Brown, one of the deep men for the Orioles. And this one, again, gets into the end zone for the touchback. Out to the 20-yard line.
10 Orioles at the 20.
So Bennett Clages, not a bad first half. 10 for 17, 139 yards. Just the one pick. He will lead the offense out here. As we said, Brown with 8 carries for 46 yards in that first half. And they'll spread them out. Brown in the backfield behind Clages, the quarterback. He'll get the call going up the middle.
Brown on the carry.
It's a couple out to about the 22-yard line.
Tackled by Cooper Williams.
Cooper Williams, defensive lineman there to make the stop.
One of those two-way players that Slinger has. Honorable mention all-conference selection last year in the North Shore.
So second down and 8 coming up. Williams, Hopner, Gehring, Constantino. Up front. 6-man front here. Try and run it back the near side. And Aiden Fry, not much there. That's because Caden Reiner there. That's 8 tackles on the night for Reiner.
Well, Landon Gehring got deep into the backfield right off the line of scrimmage. Second team all-conference performer a year ago. Disrupted it.
Blew up Zern's block. He just took Zern right back into his running back.
Now, this is the last thing that Hartford wants to do, is just have a 3 and out to begin the second half.
They'll go 3 receivers to the right, single back in the backfield on 3rd and 7 from the 23. Clages steps up and throws it behind the receiver. It was nearly picked off. Caleb Burkle was out there on the coverage that time.
4th down.
And now quickly 4th down. On to do the punting here for the Orioles. That'll be Hunter Eder. Kobe Hendricks standing deep. Nice kick. Fair catch signaled for, dropped and recovered by Hartford. Went off the shoulder.
Recovered by the Orioles.
Aiden Fry, I believe, able to get down there. Yep. As we'll take another look, he did signal for the fair catch, may have taken his eye off.
Caught him right in the face mask.
Yep. And so the Orioles back in business. They'll set this drive up at the Slinger 47-yard line.
First down and 10.
Hartford needs to take advantage of that turnover.
Each team with a turnover now. They'll go the triple I. They'll give it to Brown. E.J. Brown with some blockers. Fighting for yardage inside the 40. Moving the pile down to the 36-yard line. 11 hard-earned yards by E.J. Brown.
You can see that surge by that offensive line of Hartford. Parker Beck, Cooper Rulesma, Hunter Eder, Jackson Rolesma, and Sam Johnson.
Again, they go to that same formation. Again, it's Brown. Bottled up. Nowhere to go. Good job by the Slinger defense that time. No gain on the play.
Good example of gang tackling there.
Walworth, Caden Walworth leading the charge there. So they go back to back with that stacked eye. Now they'll go back to that double wing. Brown in motion. Play fake. Clages wants to set up a screen, and it's overthrown, incomplete. He was looking for E.J. Brown. Looked like they were trying to set a screen play up that time. Was nearly picked off by the defender out there, Walworth.
Yeah, Slinger's defense really reacted well to that play, and pretty sure Mike Wadman, the Slinger defensive coordinator, is going to be happy with how his players are reading that offense.
McManigal will come out. Miners back in at a wide receiver. Big third down here. 3rd and 10 following the turnover. Ball at the 36-yard line of Slinger. Clages will run. He'll be brought down inside the 35-yard line for a 2-yard gain. Once again, it was Caden Walworth, the linebacker, able to bring him down.
Well, not only an excellent student, but a very, very fine defensive player. Good tackle.
Oh, and Clages coming up gimpy here. I don't know if it's a cramp or hamstring, but he is in some distress here on the near sideline. And send him back in there.
You're going to have to watch the time. Watch that referee in the backfield.
Yeah, that back judge keeping time.
Starting to count.
Yep. Under 10 seconds on the play clock here, and they'll have to burn a timeout. Orioles will take a timeout here on 4th and 9. Their first timeout of this second half.
Their first timeout of the half.
So a couple of big plays by the Slinger defense. As we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
So, guys, I've had a blast talking to John Jacobs. He is the business manager, Electrical Workers 494, celebrating 30 years with them. Congratulations. But we talked as we were sitting over there on the bench about youth apprenticeship. That's a big part of what you guys believe in.
It really is. That's an entryway for the students to get into the trades, both young men and women. And growing up and coming through high school, we never heard about the trades. It was all about military, all about college. Now it's our opportunity to come to the students and talk about youth apprenticeship. And the opportunity is, back in the day, it was co-op for us. We would leave the school, go to work. It's the same thing with youth apprenticeship. They get a feel and an understanding what the trades are about. So when they graduate, if they truly enjoy what they're doing, now they start a full-fledged apprenticeship.
Guys, he loves what he does and truly believes in the mission statement behind this, and it's been so fun talking to you. Thanks for being involved with us.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You got it. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. 4th and 9.
In the Slinger 35.
2 by 2 in the receiving core, single back. Clages has time, going back over the middle, completes the pass inside the 20, inside the 15.
To Aiden Fry.
Aiden Fry with a huge grab takes him into the Bryant and Stratton College red zone on 4th down.
Aiden had an excellent catch in the first half as well. Once again, Clay just really put that ball on the mark.
So from the Bryant and Stratton College red zone, 1st and 10 for the Orioles, trying to take advantage off that muffed punt. Their first takeaway of the game, trying to cash it in for points. Fry goes in motion. They'll give him on the jet sweep action here. And the Owls were ready. Cooper Williams staying home that time. Able to seal off that edge and prevent Fry from turning the corner.
See Cooper move extremely well. 6'1", 220-pounder. We mentioned earlier he's an honorable mention all-conference performer, and that Slinger defense has been pretty stout tonight.
It's one of the attributes that we were talking with Coach Jacklin about, not just the physicality, but the speed. They're able to seal off the edge. And they'll try the left side with Brown. Hammers it down to about the 10-yard line. Landon Gehring and Jesse Ratzlaff in on the stop. Another critical 3rd down here now for the Orioles.
I'm pretty sure if they don't get the first down in this, they're going to continue to go for it. Field goals won't get them back into the game quickly enough.
Again, Clage is still kind of bothered by what appeared to be a left leg injury of some sort, either a cramp or pulled muscle, but he's gutting it out. Zern, the lone man in the backfield, 4 receivers going out. Blitz coming, gets it away. Incomplete.
Augustus pass intended for Dean Miners.
Looking for Miners, ruled incomplete. On the coverage, Caleb Burkle. So we take another look.
Yeah, they almost made the connection there.
Couldn't get control of it with his feet in bounds.
Yeah, Meinert's tried selling it to the official, but the official was right on top of that.
So
I'm a little surprised they're going for the field goal. We've had almost 6 minutes go by this quarter.
I wonder if this is a byproduct from last week, Coach, with getting into the red zone and not coming away with points last week against Germantown. And the field goal is through. Grady Helms with his second field goal of the ball game. 26-yard field goal. We'll step aside. 28-13. Slinger on top of Hartford. Back with more from Hartford after this on My 24.
Yep.
Well, consider your Saturday night plans pinned. Step into the squared circle for 3 full hours of breathtaking action and adrenaline with WOW, Women of Wrestling, and OVW Rise. That's Saturdays starting at 9 right here on My 24.
Well, defensive coordinator Lance Zadro has got to really have fired hopefully these guys up because Hartford needs to make a stop and get that ball back once again.
Helms' kick taken back at the 5-yard line. Ford will take it out across the 25-yard line. 20-yard return for Jeffrey Ford. And Slinger will get the ball for the first time here in this second half. Talked about Michael Thiede. We'll talk about that in a moment. Our scoring summaries brought to you by Carthage College. Your turn to make waves. 8 plays on that drive. Again, started with that muffed punt at midfield and a 26-yard field goal, second of the game for Brady Helms. Run the ball here, and it's Burkle with some running room. Burkle around the near side to midfield. Into Oriole territory and steps out of bounds. Inside the 35-yard line, they'll mark him out at the 33. 42-yard run for Caleb Burkle.
42-yard run. First down and 10, Slinger.
Well, there was the moment there to come up with a stop and just was able to bounce it outside to the right.
Well, we mentioned the youth of the Hartford defense. Only 3 seniors out there. Sometimes, your kids have to grow up quickly, the underclassmen.
They'll stack 2 receivers to the far side on 1st and 10 from the 33. Thiede puts it up over the middle. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Thiede's pass intended for Braden Schnorrenberg.
Schnorrenberg, the intended target that time, but well led that time. Hunter Eder, I think, had the pressure.
Yeah, that's the first really bad ball that we've seen Thiede throw all night.
Second down and 10. Again, the 42-yard run by Burkle setting them up here in Oriole territory.
Well, Thiede's averaging over 200 yards per game passing the first 2 games of the season. I'm sure he'd like to have that throw back.
Burkle to his right in the backfield on 2nd and 10. He'll get the call again. Finds a little hole over that left side. Takes it down to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. Brought down by Hunter Eder and Sully McManigal.
Gain of 2. Actually, gain of 5. Third down and 5.
So 3rd and 5 facing the Owls here from the 28-yard line. Long time here in the huddle.
Slinger may need to take a timeout so they don't get a penalty.
And the back judge not ready to count it down just yet. Quick toss near side, dropped. Oh, the man was open.
Intended for Lucas Son.
Son,
incomplete.
Who's come up with big catches all season so far.
Well, he thought he was going to catch that ball, and he was looking over his shoulder to
Yep.
see where the defender was. He was going to try to turn upfield, just a shade too quick.
So 4th and 5. Forced to go for it here. Too close for a punt and not quite close enough for a field goal attempt.
28.
Momentum shift on this play. 4th and 5. The Owls going for it, and a timeout taken by Slinger.
Well, Coach Aaron Pokshava probably needed to get things settled down. They were a little rushed.
Well, listen to Mike McGivern and Ryan McMillan Saturday morning starting at 9 on the Varsity Blitz High School Sports Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores. They'll be joined in studio by Brian Fletcher, the head coach from Racine Horlick, and his 2 sons. They'll also talk with Dan Brunner. That's tomorrow morning starting at 9 on the Big 920 AM or the iHeart radio app. Horlick and Park playing tonight, the 100th meeting between those 2 high schools.
Long tradition in Racine, and the old stadium, Horlick Stadium, for many years. You thought you were going to a prison yard. It was the tall walls all around that.
You and I were talking about grass fields. That's what I remember, Horlick being that grass field, and with all the high schools playing there at one point. You get to 3rd, 4th game of the season, and it pretty wore down between the 30s.
Right, and you had a semi-pro team playing in there as well.
Fourth down.
So 4th and 5. Owls will go for it here. Burkle in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. Thede going to throw it out, and it's behind the intended target, Kobe Hendricks. Again, just looked like he got rid of that too early.
Right, I don't know whether he was expecting him to swing a little wider. 2 throws in that sequence that Michael would like to have back, but I'm pretty sure that Lance Sadro also happens to be the head track coach here at Hartford, happy to see his defense stiffen up. Now we've got to see what happens with the offensive side of that ball.
Our closed captioning tonight brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. So the Orioles take over at their own 28-yard line. Fry in motion. Play fake. Clay just in traffic again. And this time, catch is made by McManigal, the tight end.
Clyde just good fake on that. Froze Slinger for a second.
And a couple of defenders right there. And quick first down here for the Orioles out to the 39-yard line.
Offensive coordinator Paul Schultz is kind of turning Hartford into Air Hartford tonight, which is good. I mean, they need to expand that offense, and they have to be happy with some of what they've seen tonight.
Single wing is Brown. Again, Fry in motion. Hand it off, cut back to the inside. E.J. Brown for a couple. Good job by the Slinger defense that time, kind of clogging that one up. Constantino in on the stop. Jimmy Constantino there to make the stop.
Yeah, pretty consistent performer for Slinger last year. The second half of the season came in, wound up with 30 tackles, 4 tackles for loss.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third. Fry single receiver near side, Brown the wing. Clay just going to put it up, looking for Fry, contact, and now a flag comes out. Defensive pass interference will be the call here. Gavin Braun getting a little handsy with the receiver that time.
That's a pass interference. 15-yard penalty based on the yard. That's a first down.
One more look.
Once again, started off with a good dive fake, held the defense for a second, and Clay just threw that ball.
And Fry's been the workhorse in that receiving core tonight. Again, this will be marked off from the line of scrimmage, so it'll move the football into Slinger territory at the Owl 44-yard line. Another Best Electric first down with Fry in motion. This is Zahn. Adam Zern will get a couple. His second touch tonight. His first touch went for a touchdown.
Yeah, they've tried that same play a couple of times where they kind of give it that ride going left, and then the back cuts back hard to his right.
Donovan Hopner, defensive lineman, the senior, making the tackle. Call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. 2 by 2, the receiving core. Zern the single back. They'll swing it here to the near side. Catch is made. This is Miners. Miners still on his feet, taken down near the 20-yard line. Dane Miners with his third catch tonight. 6'4" senior. Sets up another Oriole first down.
That's a first down for the Orioles.
And they'll spot it right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Meinertz and Fry give the Orioles 2 very good receivers. And, based on what we were told when we visited Hartford, we expected much more of the ground game, but they've been having some success tonight throwing the ball.
Gets them into the Bryant and Stratton College red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. They just again going to swing it out. Fry with the catch. Fry down the sideline and wrestled down inside the 15.
Tackle made by Matthew Retzloff.
Retzloff, the strong safety there to make the stop.
Yeah, excellent tackle by Retzloff. He kept his position on the receiver very well.
Stay tuned for later in the game. Our Protect, Defend, Save play of the game will be brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. Gain of 7 down to the 13-yard line, 2nd and 3. Again, going to the air, going to the corner, looking for Miners. Incomplete.
Clay just couldn't get his feet set that time.
Yep.
Too hard of a rush.
Third down.
Once again, Hartford, trailing by 15. They need to get, a touchdown in here.
Yeah, last week that was the story. You'd look at it and say, well, they must have got thumped by Germantown. No, they got the ball 3 times into the red zone and came away with no points. So 13 points in the Bryant and Stratton College red zone tonight. Now they go tight at Triple I. Brown pounds his way across the right side. Should have enough for a first down.
Brown near the 10-yard line.
Walworth, the linebacker, who's been busy tonight, brings him down.
First down and goal.
And it'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10 here for the Orioles late here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's Walworth's 7th tackle on the evening. Extremely busy.
They go back to the double wing look. Brown in motion. He gets the call. Breaks a tackle inside the 5. Touchdown, Hartford. Steamfitters 601 touchdown by E.J. Brown. And they're back in the game. See if they go for 2. No, they're going to kick for the extra point.
Oh, you gotta go for 2.
Another strong run by the senior E.J. Brown. Helms on for the extra point. Good job.
Brady Helms adds the point.
Bennett Clages, the quarterback, getting that ball down in time.
In the score.
Keep the rhythm
Slinger
going.
28-20
as we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, this might be year 3 that I've done this interview. And Denmark County, she is so involved with Coaches vs. Cancer. They have raised over $165,000 throughout the years, and I'm so impressed with the work she does. Thank you so much for what you do. You had told me twice how you have a great team.
Absolutely. We have a great team. It's not just Slinger, it's Hartford. We're unified together. This is it's a grudge match, really, but we work together always, and we have a very good team all together.
Yeah, who designed the logo?
Actually, our former athletic director, Mike Daniels, came up with the logo this year. We loved it, so we decided to usually we do a similar pattern on things, but this year we decided we would separate the colors.
It looks great. Thank you so much. I was over at the tent. You guys are doing a great job. Yeah, get that hand out. I know it's cold. Voice back to you.
What a job these two schools have done raising money for the fight against cancer. As Mike mentioned, $166,000 over the last 14 years.
Yeah, you can see Coach Jackal with his shirt on as well.
So Hartford back in the contest now, trailing by 8. 13 unanswered here by the Orioles. Ford on the return, breaks a tackle, out to the 30-yard line. Good return. Noah Leipold there. And McGonigal. There's your scoring summary brought to you by Carthage College. Taking over on downs at their own 28-yard line. They go 72 yards in 8 plays.
Well, the Orioles have to be happy with the response they've made offensively. Now they have to come through with that defensive stop, get the ball back once again.
It's been the running of Burkle and Hendricks tonight. And it's Burkle on cue, takes it over the left side and rips off 11 on the first attempt following the touchdown. Breyer there, the outside linebacker. There is a flag on the play, however. We get another look.
During the run, illegal block in the back. White. Good play, first down.
So illegal block in the back. It's a spot foul, so they'll step it off from where the penalty occurred. Move the ball inside the 30.
Now that offensive line for Slinger's been doing a good job tonight. Caden Greshall, Chase Jacklin, Tyler DeRuiter, Ryder, Cooper Williams, and Nathan Hatterer. Going to try to grind out some yardage now.
1st and 13. Under a minute to go here in the third. Right back to Burkle, and they swarmed under. Gang tackle by the Hartford defense. I think the first man in there was Hunter Eder.
Well, they're trying to pull that backside guard and tackle, get him to lead through the hole, but that time Hartford responded.
Another flag on the play. Mike Edick is our referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense. Full first down.
Back-to-back penalties on the Owls. This will step them back inside the 20-yard line, right around the 15. Yeah. 1st and 26.
I'll see what Aaron Pokshava, the offensive coordinator, is going to go to here to try to get some yardage.
Empty backfield for Thede. He'll come back, throw a bubble screen here to the near side with some running room after the catch. Jeffrey Ford, two-sport athlete, a good hurdler in track. Grolke and Helms both in on the stop.
A real chess match going on here as both coordinators are trying to figure out exactly what they need to do.
And that will end our third quarter. An exciting one here in Hartford. Getting a little more curious as we go here. 28-20, Slinger on top of Hartford. Our Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals presented by the Milwaukee Window Guys. With Mike McGivern and Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you from Hartford. Fourth quarter action, 28-20, Slinger on top. Owls with the ball, facing a 2nd and 16 from their own 23. Ford in motion to the far side. Thede under pressure, and he's going to go down. Uh-oh. Big tackle, but
on the stop for the Orioles.
Gulke
There's a penalty marker on the play.
with the old body slam, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You know, he's
just needed to wrap him up. Didn't
enthusiastic,
need to throw him.
and you know he reverted to his wrestling background there.
Takedown.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, a 15-yard penalty, replay second down.
We'll replay the second down.
He knows he goofs up. Good to see the official go over and just say to him, okay, you made a mistake.
So they get that yardage back after back-to-back penalties on Slinger. Roughing call here makes it second down and 8. Hand it off and not much there. Brought down in the play by Rademacher, inside linebacker.
Yeah, he got some penetration that time. They look at him as one of their blitzers that they like to use. So key third down situation for Lance Zadro's team here, and see what he's going to go to put a little pressure on Thede, not give him a chance to just set up and throw the ball.
Burkell, the running back. 3 receivers to the right. On 3rd and 9 for the Owls. Empty the backfield with Burkell in motion. Thede going to cut up field. Thede on the run. Dives to the sticks. Not sure if he got there.
Yeah, the defense lost their outside contain that time on the quarterback and gave him an opening to that right side.
See where they mark it. Looks like he's going to be short.
Thede carries to the 39-yard line.
About a yard shy. As he got out of bounds near the first down marker. So it'll be 4th and 1 here for Slinger.
Interesting to see if they go into a power formation here. And a little confusion on both sides.
Hartford has to take the timeout. Thede was on the sideline. Ford was going to run that quarterback here. As we head down to Mike McGivern in our United States Marine Corps interview.
Hey guys, Staff Sergeant Stephen Tua, U.S. Marines. He's a Bear fan, but we're not going to hold that against him. Can we talk about the Educators Workshop that you guys do?
Absolutely. So, Educators Workshop, we do it twice a year. For any educators and individuals in the area who want to go to San Diego for about a week to see what boot camp is like from their perspective and from a recruit's perspective, and then come back to their school to introduce that to their students.
Hey, or a radio guy might do that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd be nice to me?
Sure. I won't be there, but they can have fun with you.
Yeah, hey, Terry Kelly, me at boot camp. What do you think? Boys, back to you.
I'd vote yes on that. I'd go for that.
Coming up following the game, stay tuned for our United States Marine Corps Player of the Game, brought to you by the United States Marines. That would be interesting. McGivern and boot camp.
I think you all saw the movie Stripes, didn't you? Just
4th and 1.
This is the power backfield. You
Yes.
take a look at who he's got in the backfield with him.
Trying to get the first down, and Burkell does. Out to the 44-yard line. There's a player down for Hartford. It was Casey Rademacher, a linebacker. So, injury timeout here for the Hartford player. Rademacher has had quite a night in that linebacker spot. So stay tuned. Following our game tonight, we'll have the presentation of the Champions Trophy. That is brought to you by Marquette University. Be the difference. So they convert on 4th down. Burkle out of that power formation. And then going in on the tackle was Casey Rademacher, the junior. So again, the Owls get a fresh set of downs here when play resumes.
Can't see if they're working on Rademacher's ankle or if he's got some other type of leg injury.
Mike, what do you got?
So a couple of cheerleaders that said, come on, let's go. Maya and Bryn. Maya, you're the captain. Let's talk a little bit about this team. How long you've been part of this?
I've been a part of it for 4 years now.
Yeah, pretty happy with this team?
Yes, very much so.
Hey, the student section here is unbelievable.
It's amazing this year. I'm so happy everybody's coming out and supporting us. It's so nice to see it.
Hey, Bryn, this is year 2 for you?
Yes, this is year 2 for me.
And having fun?
I love it a lot.
You guys do basketball as well? Yeah, football's more fun though, right?
Well, this is my first time doing football, but I'm liking it a little more than basketball.
Football's more fun?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, these girls work hard, and they got the student section going for sure here in Hartford. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you so much, and it's been fun tonight. We talked about that race for cash at halftime for the American Cancer Society. Both sides raised $3,600 tonight. That puts that total at over $170,000 now in the 14 years of this Coaches versus Cancer football game. Thede's pass incomplete. Looking for Lucas Son.
Second down.
It's good to see Rademacher helped off the field here and onto the sideline, favoring that leg.
Yeah, hopefully something they're going to be able to diagnose and treat real quickly. It's a real loss for Rademacher. He's been in on about, 10 tackles this evening?
Yep. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers near side. Burkle, the lone back. Thede, play action now on the scramble. Thede out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Gain of about 4. Bring up 3rd down. Helms was there on the stop. So a 3rd and about, we'll call it 7. Big play here from the 46. Thede over the middle and incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Thede's pass is incomplete. Intended receiver is Jack Fricklin.
Fricklin, the 6-foot junior, the intended target. He's had quite the season so far. Coaches Jacqueline talked about that in our interview this week. He said his season's been kind of on the upswing here, kind of a pleasant surprise.
You know, he was a young man that, he's undersized, but he's so tenacious, and that's what Coach Jacqueline pointed out about him.
4th down, punt coming. Bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, and dead at the 13-yard line. 9:44 to play. 8-point game. And Hartford will get the ball back.
Well, Hartford, forced the punt that they needed to get. Now, how well can that offense respond?
position now where they can kind of get back into their comfort zone a little bit with that ground and pound style of running.
Well, they know that they're going to have to go for 2 if they get a touchdown. That's score dictates that when you're trailing by 8.
Single wing is Brown. Fry goes in motion far side. Clages going to throw it away.
Bennett Cloggis' pass is incomplete. Second down.
Yeah, Clay just, demonstrated his intelligence there. No use trying to force that pass in.
He's thrown for over 150 yards tonight. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 14-yard line. Movement up front.
Good ball. Ball start. Offense. Still second down.
That changes the look here a little bit, I think. You're behind the sticks. 2nd and 15. Go with that same formation. Shovel pass this time. Brown will take it up across the
E.J. Brown, the ball carrier.
10 out to the 14-yard line, gets those 5 yards back. Constantino in on that stop. And now you got yourself a 3rd and 10 here, Coach.
Yeah, 3rd and long. You're going to be looking for either Dane Meinertz or Aiden Fry. It's one of those two guys trying to get that key first down.
Slinger fans on their feet on the far side trying to fire up their defense. 3rd and 10 from the 14. Double slot. Blitz coming. Hit as he's thrown. Ball in the air, and it's incomplete.
Cloggis' pass intended for Dane Miners is incomplete.
Hit as he was throwing that ball. Looking for Miners. Brings up 4th down. See if we get another look here. Looks like they sent the outside backers. Could not step into that throw.
Yeah, pressure came right up the middle there that time.
So the Orioles will punt it away here. And we're short a player. Now we're set. Gets this one away. A bounce at midfield and downed immediately at the 47-yard line.
Slinger comes away with good field position.
Yes, they did.
1st down and 10, Slinger.
Just over 8.5 minutes to go and an 8-point lead. Slinger will start this drive in Hartford territory at the Oriole 47-yard line. Here comes the offensive unit. Hendricks in now as the running back. He'll be the single back in the backfield. And he's going to be stopped for a loss back near midfield. Brought down on the play by Grolke.
On the stop for the Orioles.
Another look here. Looked like they're trying to pull the center to Ryder, and he just couldn't get out quick enough to set up that block. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. No shovel pass this time. Back to midfield.
Well, that defense is really playing with a sense of urgency.
Zern in now for Rademacher.
On the stop for the Orioles.
He made the tackle along with McManigal.
Yeah, Rodemaker's teammates
Third
coming
down
over,
and
trying to
13
cheer him up a
from
little bit.
midfield.
Apparent knee injury, and
well, big play here. Another one, 3rd and 13 from midfield. Thede under pressure, gets away. Fires it back over the middle. It is tipped and incomplete.
Thede's pass incomplete. There is a
Trying
penalty
to
marker on the
come
field.
back for the ball was Lucas San. There is a flag down, however, at the 40-yard line of Hartford.
Defensive pass interference.
Boy,
Through the yardage, that's going to be a first down.
that's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. And that will be an automatic first down at the 35-yard line. Mike, what do you have?
Guys, I'm watching him work on Casey Rodemaker. They've iced up his right leg. They put him on crutches. He's done for the day.
All right, Mike, thank you. Yeah, tough break. He's had a
First
great
down
game.
and 10, Slinger at the 35.
And Hartford's got another injury that's really going to affect him too. Aiden Fry seems to have a pulled hamstring.
Hendricks around the right side for 4.
Kobe Hendricks, the ball carrier.
And now a Slinger player is down. So a timeout here to tend to the Slinger player. Might be the center. Might be DeRuyter. We'll check it out once we come back from our commercial break. 28-20, Slinger on top of Hartford. Back with fourth quarter action after this on My 24. How well do you know human behavior? We'll find out as teams predict how different people will feel about the same issues. Jaleel White hosts the new game show Flipside. That's weekdays at 2, starting September 9th on CW18. 2nd and 6 from the 31.
Thede, the ball carrier.
Thede will keep it, and he's close to a first down.
Thede carries near the 25-yard line.
Injured player was Tyler DeRuyter. He was able to make it off onto the sideline under his own power.
And he just came right back in. So just glad to see that happen.
Now Slinger in no hurry here. Ball at the 25-yard line. Best Electric first down. Split backfield. Now they break it off with Mason Johnson in motion. They'll go up the middle. Big gain down to the 20. Kobe Hendricks. That 1-2 punch of Burkle and Hendricks tonight.
Tackled by Adam Zern.
Once again, you're seeing that line. Slinger's always been known to have good linemen, and Caden Greshel, Chase Jacklin on that left side. They're following those blocks. You got Tyler DeRuyter at center, Cooper Williams at the right guard, and Nathan Heder right tackle.
From the Bryant and Stratton College red zone, 2nd down and 5. Again, it's Hendricks inside the 20. Wrestled down by Dane Miners. Another 3rd down here. They've been able to convert 3 third downs.
3rd down and 4 from the 19.
And trying to take advantage of that pass interference penalty that put them into Hartford territory. 3rd and 4. Ball at the 19-yard line. Johnson in motion near side, and again it's Hendricks. Spins his way forward. Inside the 15, should have enough for a Best Electric first down.
Near the 13-yard line.
Once again, it was Colton.
Slinger.
Yeah, was it Breyer? Yep, Colton Breyer.
Well, Slingers, displayed that really nice balance with their offense. The pass and the run, 2 excellent running backs, quarterback that throws well, some wide receivers. You can see why they're considered one of the favorites for this conference title.
Hendricks again trying to get around the near side. Going to be stacked up right at the 15-yard line. We'll see where forward progress takes him.
Tackled by Colton Breyer, along with Aiden Grokey.
Grokey and Breyer again in on the stop. Time the enemy now for Hartford. We're going to try and get this ball back.
Yeah, we're going to click under 4 minutes to go, and Hartford needs to find a way to force that turnover. We talked about that turnover battle.
2nd down and 11 from the 14.
Again, it's Hendricks in the backfield. Thede will hand it off. Trying the right side down to about the 11. Bring up 3rd and long.
Tackled by Aiden Grokey.
Grokey again in on the stop. He's had a good night. 6 tackles on the night for Aiden Grokey.
Okay, honorable mention last year as a sophomore, and we mentioned his wrestling background. Finished 5th in the state last year, Division I wrestling tournament.
From the 11, 3rd and 8. Thede wants to throw. Incomplete. Looking for Ford. Broken up out there by Cole Ohm in coverage. And I believe the field goal unit going to come on now for the Owls. Another look. Tried to go up and get it, but right through his fingertips. This will be Cole Martin for a 28-yard field goal straight away. Got it away and drills it. Cole Martin, 28-yard field goal. Good job by Ethan Walter, Gavin Braun on the hold. The whole system worked that time.
Slinger 31.
Right down the middle. Makes it a 2-score game here with 3 minutes to go. Huge to come away with points there in this drive.
Right, and we hadn't seen many beautiful kicks tonight in terms of, field goals and extra points, but that was well struck that time.
As I said, good job by the long snapper Ethan Walter. Gavin Braun able to get that ball down in time. Keep the rhythm for Martin to swing through and drill it. Hartford will get this football They only have one timeout remaining here in this second half.
You know, we've seen the strength of Slinger this evening. I think Hartford is able to walk away from the game being able to say, hey, we did some things well. Maybe it's too early to say that they're not going to get a win tonight, but by the same token, I think the coaching staff has to be proud of how these guys responded after getting themselves down.
Brown and Medla are the deep men for Hartford. And this one will carry the end zone. Third touchback tonight by Cole Martin. So Hartford will have it at their own 20-yard line. I'll have to keep an eye on Aiden Fry. He was on the sideline during that Slinger offense trying to work out the cramps.
Yeah, it seemed to be in his hamstring area. They were really, getting him to feed with water.
And throw it left side, not much there. Catch made by Miners, brought down on the play by Burkle. He has had a busy night. What's his line tonight? That's now what? 6 pass defenses, 6 tackles, and 15 carries for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. And as our spotter, Sean Raffaelli, said he was selling popcorn at halftime.
Raffaelli didn't buy us any either. So.
And down he goes. Just down on the sack. Cooper Williams. Two-way player, honorable mention, all conference. Here's our Milwaukee Admirals hit of the game right here. They just no time, and number 74, Cooper Williams, our hit of the game, brought to you by the Milwaukee Admirals. Going downfield, has Aiden Fry midfield, makes the catch. Inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. 43-yard pickup, Chase Leverance in coverage. And Fry keeps the drive alive here for the Orioles. Again, with only one timeout, they hustle up to the ball.
Clay just still has a little hitch in his get-along as we see the quarterback trying to move for Hartford.
Again, looking left. Now on the scramble, back over the middle. Dangerous pass, nearly intercepted. He was rolling left, then stopped, tried to throw back to the middle of the field looking for Brown, and Retzlaff was there nearly with the pick. Second and 10 from the Slinger 38. Clock stopped, minute 19 to play. Under pressure, Clagis again, penalty marker thrown. Going to be a holding call here.
Pass is incomplete. There's a penalty marker on the play.
Incomplete pass. We'll see if Slinger declines the penalty here.
Holding on the offense. Replay to go.
Replay third down. Interesting.
Kind of surprised.
Yeah. The incomplete pass would have brought up fourth down. Moves the football back to the 47-yard line.
Second down and 19 on the 47.
So second and 19. Come back near side, pass is high and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Ohm, the intended target that time. Broken up on the play by Gavin Braun. That's 3 pass breakups tonight for Braun.
Well, you can see the benefits that Coach Jackal saw by going to 2 platoon. His defense knows their job very well. Conversely, that offense, kids really get their techniques down. And he said, you know, our increased numbers has given us the opportunity to make use of that.
3rd and 19 from the 48. Four receivers, single back. They just makes the catch. Fry, diving grab, out of bounds near the 22-yard line. He's had quite the ball game tonight. Fry, how many catches is that, Andrew? That's 9 grabs tonight for Fry.
And Klages has done an excellent job throwing the ball.
Ooh. I don't know if he had control. If we catch another look, I don't think he had control going out with that catch. They ruled it a catch.
And there is no replay.
No. Again, they'll go with a 4-receiver look. Zern the single back. Pump fake. Looking for the ball, broken up nicely. Intended for Ohm. Again, that was Braun. That's his 6th pass breakup tonight.
Yeah, Braun's had himself a very good evening.
Clock stopped with 58 seconds to play. 2nd down and 10 from the 27.
Well, quite a different scenario this game than it was last week playing Lake Geneva Badger, who's going to throw one pass the whole game. Hartford's throwing the ball up all over the park, and Slinger defense hanging in there really well.
They just under pressure. Now to his right. Heaves it to the back of the end zone. Well out of bounds.
Way back in the end zone that time.
And Cloggis' pass incomplete.
Another penalty on the play, too.
Personal foul.
Roughing the passer. Defense. Based on the yardage, that's going to be accepted.
So roughing the passer. Oh, that's going to. Coach Jacklin halfway out toward the 20-yard line, not happy with that at all. Gives them a 1st down after the 15-yard walk-off. They'll mark it into the Bryant and Stratton College red zone down to the 12-yard line.
Well, Dale Meinertz managed to get himself free that time, just a little too deep. Corner blitz.
Able to shake it off. Going again for Meinertz in the back of the end zone, overthrown. Oh, check that, Fry. Leverance in coverage, and again, Fry down in the back of the end zone.
Hartford's got to be hoping that it's not a hamstring pull, and it is just a reoccurrence of having some problems with hydration. He's getting a serious cramp, but Hartford coaches can't deny that how hard their guys have played tonight.
Yeah, both teams have come out here tonight and established themselves as a physical ball club, and going to be a force to reckon with in this North Shore Conference. We mentioned at the top of the show, I mean, you've got Cedarburg, you've got Homestead, you've got Slinger, you've got Hartford. I mean, it's It's a gauntlet. I mean, you can't take a night off in this league. Nicolay has improved. The West
this
Bend,
year, the West Bend West is off to a better start than they had last year.
So this conference is it's not just one or two teams. Second down and 10. Under pressure. Back over the middle again. This time it's incomplete. Another flag down on the sideline.
Cloggis' pass is incomplete. There's a penalty marker on the play.
And Clay just might have been roughed up again.
Yeah, and I think that time they carried him out of bounds.
Oh.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. So, automatic first.
Half the distance to the goal, and an automatic first down will set up a first and goal here for Hartford. And Coach Billy Jacklin cannot be happy with his defense here. I mean, chasing the quarterback, yes, that's fine, but they've roughed him up a couple of times on this drive.
First down and goal, Orioles from the 6.
They'll mark it at the 6, first and goal. Again, he'll put it up in the air. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
And another penalty marker down. Pass was intended for Fry.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense, down count to be second down.
Dead ball foul, so it'll be a second and goal, but things getting a little chippy here in the final minute.
A little bit of frustration, I think, on both sides. Hartford feeling frustrated where they are, and Slinger feeling frustrated they're not able to get a stop to this offensive series.
Fry, the single receiver here to the near side. Miners split to the left side. Hitch and go. Looking for Fry. Leaping grab. Touchdown, Hartford.
A nice slant and out pattern that time by Fry.
Steamfitter 601 touchdown. Play just to Fry. One more look.
Nice little pump fake there.
Beautifully thrown ball. Oh, a fingertip grab, and he held control.
Looks like he's got that hand underneath
Yes.
the ball.
Yep. Kept it under control. They will go for 2 here. Try to make it a one-score game. Stacked receivers near side. Now they'll break it off. Fry. They'll take their final timeout here. Confusion on that formation.
Timeout.
12 men, I think, on the field there with Fry trying to get off.
Card turned into the press box. You may pick up this card if Harper Perry.
Here's one more look at that touchdown pass.
We have your debit card at the concession stand area. Harper Perry.
Little pump and go. And go he did. Fry able to get control of the ball, had the left hand underneath. Maintained control through the process, as they say.
Official had an excellent view of the play. You know, Fry keeps coming back from that cramp or slightly pulled. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, the Orioles have really continued to fight. Now going back to that sign we saw in the first half, who is the tougher bird?
Yeah.
Both teams have displayed a lot of grit tonight.
So we'll put Miners along with the tight end, McManigal, and Fry over to that right side. E.J. Brown, the single back. No play fake to Braun. Under pressure, back of the end zone, it is incomplete.
Bennett Cloggis'
Going
two-point
for
conversion
two,
pass is no
comes
good.
up incomplete. And so 23 seconds to go.
23 seconds to play in regulation.
See
and
an
the score,
onside kick here.
Slinger 31.
See how Hartford
26.
draws this one up.
Well, Coach Redders is the special
Yes, he
teams
is.
coach, just like Slinger. Coach Jacqueline is the special team coach.
So we'll see how Coach Redders draws this up. Slinger will have their
hands team, I
Yep.
would imagine.
That's exactly what
Coach
Jack
Jacqueline.
Yep. Inside, make sure you get on the ball.
Coach Jacqueline may head for that cold tub right away after this game.
There you go. Got the cell phone lights.
And above all, we got to remember too, this game, $3,600
Yes.
raised to fight cancer.
Yep. And that's just with that fast cash, dash for cash that they did in the stands tonight. Not to mention the T-shirts and the other raffle items.
Sponsors and what they've donated.
Onside kick. And the officials blow it dead. I think they were offside.
Dead ball. Offsides. Kicking team. Re-kick.
So they'll retry 5 yards deeper. It's on that left side. The far side looked like it was one of the players that jumped. So everybody up here up front. We've got 9 up near midfield here for Slinger. And the Owls pounce on the football, and they will take this one home tonight. Good job getting on top of that.
Well, the fans certainly have had an enjoyable evening. They've seen some excellent offense, a couple of fantastic defensive plays, two teams really competing hard.
Slinger is going to get to 3-0 on the season. Good bounce back here tonight by Hartford. They felt they left some plays on the field last week against Germantown, but showed some grit here tonight. Victory formation. Takes the knee. And this one goes into the left column for Slinger tonight. 31-26 will be the final score here tonight as the teams line up for the handshake. When we return for our postgame, we'll have our United States Marine Player of the Game presentation and also the Champions Trophy, brought to you by Marquette University. That'll be coming up following our break. Final tonight, 31-26, Slinger over Hartford. This is the Gruber Law Office's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Milwaukee Window Guys. Final score tonight from Hartford. Slinger knocks off Hartford 31-26 in the coaches versus cancer game. They will retain the Wilkinson Redders Jacqueline Trophy. It'll be over in Slinger this time for the second straight year. Time now to go downstairs. Mike McGivern has our United States Marine Player of the Game.
So, guys, they're calling him Caleb two-time because it's the second time he's won this award. 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not a bad night.
No, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Hey, not too bad at all. Senior year, man. You look at the game when Hartford's on his schedule. It's always good to get this win.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the prettiest win, but we got it done.
Man, there were some pretty plays out there. I got to be honest with you. You feel pretty good 3-0. Obviously, you feel pretty good about where this team is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a big game last week. We were all high on that, but then we had to lock in this week because we knew this is one of the bigger games. And they thought it was their Super Bowl. We had to shut them down.
And you guys did. It got to be honest. Hey, U.S. Marine Player of the Game. You got to love that confidence.
Absolutely. You know, the dedication, the determination you guys had, especially yourself, can't get with the offensive line. Good job today, guys.
You bet. Boys, back to you. Nice job.
Caleb Burkle, our United States Marine Corps Player of the Game. I thought he was going to go two-time. I thought two-way.
Yeah.
You take a look at his performance tonight.
Yeah, besides what he did offensively, he had 6 pass breakups, 6 tackles.
Not to mention a couple of touchdowns rushing tonight. 15 carries for over 171 yards. This is his second. Right here, his second touchdown run of the game.
Powered into the end zone.
As we mentioned, defensively tonight, 6 pass breakups on defense to go with 6 tackles on the night for Caleb Burkle, our United States Marine Player of the Game. As Slinger takes down Hartford tonight, 31-26. Back downstairs we go to Mike for our Champions Trophy presentation, brought to you by Marquette University.
Coach, you got to be so proud of this team. Look, like the Marine Player of the Game said, look, it wasn't all that pretty. I don't know of a game when you guys play Hartford, it's going to be all that pretty because, you know what, it's a rivalry game. And I just, if I were you, I'd be so proud of the way these guys hung in there.
I'm really proud. I love these guys. I told you earlier in the week when we talked, like the love. I mean, these guys love each other. I said play for each other. Before the game, I said play. You know, it's better to give than to take, and give to your other teammates and really play your heart out. They did. We got a lot to correct, which is great for us coaches. But it's never a pretty win, but a win's pretty sweet.
Caleb two-time, he's feeling pretty confident that play. That's a nickname that's going to stick. Hey, Chase, you got to feel pretty good. I've known you since you were a little guy. And he said, look, I'm not a pain anymore. I'm a pretty good guy. You got to feel good about these boys.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Up front, I feel I got to give a shout-out to our O-line, but I also got to give a shout-out to our quarterback. He's a great leader, and he helps us out there. Big time.
He's a little tougher than you thought he was.
Yeah. He can take a hit.
Yeah, he can take a hit. You know what? Great first win in conference. Good luck next week against West Bend West, and I'll get you in studio pretty soon. All right, boys, way to go. Good job.
Congratulations to Slinger, the Owls, with the victory tonight. 31-26. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have our Protect, Defend, Save play of the game brought to you by United States Coast Guard and some final words from Hartford. 31-26. Slinger over the Orioles. Back after this on My 24. 31-26, your final score tonight. Slinger over Hartford. Time now for our Protect, Defend, Save play of the game, brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. And it was one of two takeaways tonight. As Clagis was looking downfield, Chase Leverance with the pick. That set up the third touchdown of the night for Slinger.
Really broke on that ball well.
Yes, he did. Chase Leverance with our Protect, Defend, Save play of the game, brought to you by the United States Coast Guard. A big thank you tonight to all of our sponsors who bring us Friday Night Rivals each and every week. Gruber Law Offices, the Milwaukee Window Guys, Best Electric Service, Bryant and Stratton College, Carthage College, Liuna Local 113, Marquette University, Menards, the Milwaukee Admirals, Milwaukee Building and Construction Trades Council, Russ Darrow Automotive Group, Steamfitters Local 601, United States Army, the United States Coast Guard, and the U.S. Marines, and Wendy's. And don't forget, tonight's game will replay on My 24 tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. And join us next Friday night for a big rivalry. Woodland Conference action. Grafton takes on Wisconsin Lutheran from Wisconsin Lutheran High School. Their brand new field. We're going to be out there next Friday night.
Beautiful stadium that they had donated to them. Mr. Zeidler, I believe, took some of that pro money and returned it to Wisconsin Lutheran, and unbelievable video board on that field.
We'll have a fun time. Wisconsin Lutheran next week. Kicks off at 6:30 with Mike McGivern's pregame show, and then at 7, it's Wisconsin Lutheran against Grafton next week. Big thank you to our men and women here on the My 24 Sports crew for bringing us our ball game here tonight. For Mike McGivern and Terry Kelly, Andy Spitzer, our stat guy, and for Sean Raffaelli, our spotter. I'm John Weiser, wishing you a pleasant good evening from Hartford, where tonight Slinger defeats the Hartford Orioles 31-26. Good night, everyone.